Hey, what's up? Today I'm going to show you how I sample videos in Reaper. I have a drum machine in my template, and I also have a track dedicated just for sub bass. The BPM is 90. Let's check the project settings first. Preferred video size 1920 by 1080. That's what I want. So now I'm going to go to my Media Explorer. I've already got the video selected that I want. It's a public domain video I downloaded from the internet. Drag it from the Media Explorer into my session. And I'm going to make the track bigger by dragging down on the track. And now I'm going to find a loop.
Of looking for us at the house.
You know, you might have a point there.
Please.
It could be clear over in Mexico, for that matter.
That's the loop I want. So I'm going to tab to transient so I can find the beginning of the loop. Click S to split the wave. Drag it back to the beginning of the session. Now I'm going to find the end of the loop. Now I'll tab to transient to find the end loop point. Then I click S again to split it. And then I hold down Command and click and drag the endpoint to my grid. Sounds good. Now I'm going to go to the left up at the top and fade it in a little to stop the pop at the beginning. Now I'm going to normalize it by right clicking, go into item processing and go to normalize. Next I'm going to go up to edit and open the transient detection settings. Adjust the setting, and then I'm going to calculate the transient guides. I have a shortcut in my template, but you can get to that by going to item, stretch markers, transient guides, calculate transient guides. Now this is processing the entire movie as I drop the entire movie into the session. Let's speed this up a little. Now that it's done processing, I'm going to snap some of the snares and kicks to the grid. Right now my grid is on 1/8. I'm zooming in and out by using the mouse wheel. Now I'm going to duplicate that loop over 3 more times to make an 8-bar selection. So it's not just the same loop over and over. I'm going to make a smaller loop in the middle. On the 4th bar. Click S to split. Go to the end of that. Drag it back and duplicate it. Now with auto crossfade enabled, we're going to drag the ends of these so they overlap. That'll take care of any pops, make a smooth transition, and just use your ears to see if the loop is good. I'm gonna switch my grid to 1/16 so I can have a shorter fade span. So for this tutorial, my quick 8-bar loop is done. Now let's adjust the video. I'm adding a video processor plugin to the video track, and I'm gonna go select Item Fades Effect Video. With that, anything we do to the audio will be reflected in the video, all the fades. Next, I'm gonna add in a basic helper for track opacity, zoom, and pan, because I wanna zoom in and fill up the 1920 by 1080 frame. Now I'm going to add a new track by double-clicking in the unused area. Click on the send of my video track, and I'm going to send it to the new track I just created. I'm going to click on it again and send it pre-effects. Now I'm going to go add in the stock Reaper compressor, Re-X Comp. I'm going to select a preset. Click Auto Makeup Gain, Solo Current Band. So basically we're filtering out the bass right now. Copy the same compressor over to our new track, and we're gonna select the mid band. Auto Makeup Gain, and now we've got the mid band soloed in that compressor. I'm gonna duplicate that track, and we're gonna select the highs. Now we've got 3 bands on 3 different tracks. Fix a pop. Now on our original track, we're going to add a new plugin. It's going to be Retune, the tuner. We're going to change the window size to 100. This is going to tell us what the bass notes are because we're on the filtered bass track. So it's an A sharp and an F. I'm gonna go to my template. I already had a existing MIDI track in there for my sub bass. You can use any VST bass you want. Double click on it. Have temporary notes in there, and I'm gonna stretch it out to my 8-bar loop, and I'm gonna get rid of all the additional notes, and we're gonna add in an A sharp and an F. Duplicate that over. Now let's hear how it sounds. Boom. Boom. Now I'm gonna go to my middle band and duplicate that track. On this track, we're gonna add a new plugin, the Repitch. Place it above the compressor, and we're gonna shift everything up 1 octave. I'm gonna add another plugin in, Reverb. Select a preset, turn down the wet. We're gonna place it above the compressor. So what that's doing, it's putting another octave in there. It's making it a little fuller. If you want to, you could take the pan and reverse it on that track. Now that we've got the sample set, the video full frame, let's find a break beat. I'm just gonna choose a break beat that complements the standard pattern I already have in my drum machine and will work for this. I'm gonna drag that into my session. Click OK. Make that track bigger so I can see it. scoot it back to the beginning because I didn't drop it in at the beginning. So now I'm going to go repeat the same process that we did for the original sample. Transient detection settings, calculate transient guides, and now I'm just sliding the snares to the 2 and the 4, and I'm going to get a couple of the kick drums on the grid. I'm only going to take 1 bar of this break beat, so after I get it on the grid, I'm going to click S to split, I'm going to select it, and I'm going to duplicate it over for the 8 bars. Next, I'm gonna go to my drum machine, and I already know the pattern is very similar to that break, so we're not gonna mess with that too much. I'm gonna go take out a kick out of the pattern. Now I'm going to change the snare sound. I've already got all of my drum hits are in my drum machine. And I'm going to change the kick sound. Now I'm going to put a recomp compressor on my breakbeat track. Turn the auto release on, put it on auxiliary input left and right. I'm going to click the limit output button. Now I'm going to go to my drum machine tracks for my snare and my kick, and I'm going to add sends to the same breakbeat track, pre-effects. Go back to my compressor. Signal's not coming through, so something isn't set up proper. Check the auxiliary input left and right. Aha. When you send it to the compressor, you need to put it on the new channel 3 and 4 from both of the sends. Now if I go back, you can see my drums coming through, and I can use the ratio knob to adjust. For giggles, I'm going to turn that on, but that's been depreciated. Basically, that doesn't work. Adjust the threshold. So now that we have a basic beat going, let's adjust the video a bit. I'm going to go to my master fader, and I'm going to add another plugin. Video processor, and the preset colorize. Change the hue a bit just so we can change the color. Now I'm going to add a new track by clicking in the empty space, and I'm going to drag it up underneath our video track. I'm going to go to the end of our loop, and I'm going to hold down Command and drag the last loop down to that track and turn it all the way down. Make it a little bigger, and then I'm just going to drag out the beginning all the way to the beginning of our 8-bar loop. Now I'm going to add another processor to the master fader. This was going to be crossfade through inputs. I'm also going to drag the item fades effect video and the track zoom pan over to our new track. what our video looks like so far. You can see the fades in the video. I'm going to open up the crossfade through inputs. I'm going to go to project time in the parameter and put _Q in. That's going to lock it into the quarter notes. Then I'm going to hold down Command and S so I can save that preset inside of this session. So now if we watch the video, we're going to see both video tracks going. It's going to be fading back and forth on the quarter notes, just to add some variety to the video. Instead of touching all the faders, I'm just going to turn them down with the volume pan smoother utility that I keep on my master fader. Those are the basics. Now we're going to render it as a video to my desktop. Change the frame rate to 30. Double check, make sure it's 1920 by 1080. That's it, we're going to render it. I hope you enjoyed this video, seeing my process of how I flip these videos into like hip hop sample videos. They're really good if you can find a video with someone dancing, because whatever you do to it, they're going to remain on beat.